Welcome to Against the Spread on YouTube, and happy Thanksgiving. And this is the best time of year before the Super Bowl because you get a bunch of games in the middle of the week. Thank you, Americans, for your Thanksgiving later than ours. What's your favorite Thanksgiving football memory?
Ooh, football memory. That's a tough one. I mean, I don't have some great ones. I have some bad ones. Like when the Eagles went to Detroit and Calvin Johnson lit them up. That's probably my worst memory. Best one, I can't think of any. I just love the day. Football all day. It doesn't get much better.
It is nice whether you're working or at home to get football all day in the middle of the week. Mine would be Leon Lett, obviously, as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
He had the game won against the Dolphins in the snow. Literally throw it away by touching a ball you shouldn't. But let's get to the games.
Yeah,
and we've got the Lions and the Bears. Bears, it was 3.5. Now they're 4-point favorites on the road in Detroit, who's coming off of a win, even though they practiced last week outside for no reason. Who do you like in this game?
I like the Bears, and it's interesting because Trubisky is dealing with a shoulder injury, as they revealed on Monday, but I think it comes down to the defensive line. We saw Khalil Mack come back and have a really good game, and Akeem Hicks had a monster game last week against the Vikings. So I think regardless of what the offense can do, that'll be the difference. The Lions can't really protect Stafford very well, so I think it's going to come down to some turnovers and probably defensive touchdowns from the Bears, which they're wont to do.
Right, yeah, and you mentioned not being sure about Trubisky in that offense, and they've been pretty balanced. The Bears top 5 in offense and defense, the only team to be top 5 in both. But the defense is really what carries that team. The top 4 in total defense, scoring defense, fumbles, interceptions, sacks. And when you think about the Lions, who've traded Golden Tate, who won't have Kerryon Johnson, who may not have Jones Jr., it's tough for me to see how they're going to score against probably the best defense in the league. So yeah, I'll take the short number, and I'll take the Bears as well. Another team that always plays on Thanksgiving is the Cowboys. They come out with those old school uniforms, and they're at home, obviously, and they're favorites, 7.5 points. But actually, surprisingly, given how public they are, 55% of the public is with the road Washington team. Who do you like? Are you with that public?
I am going to go with the public. I think the spread is generous for the Cowboys, but I think it has a lot to do with Alex Smith's devastating injury, and now Colt McCoy's coming in. But from the way it sounds, everyone loves Colt McCoy, and he might be the most popular backup QB in the NFL right now. So I think that will go well for them. I mean, they don't really depend on the quarterback too much in Washington anyway, so as long as he just executes, Adrian Peterson can run the ball and the defense plays well, I don't expect them to win, but I expect them to keep it closer than the 7.5.
I am going with Dallas, even though I know I'm going to regret this. You have Colt McCoy, son of Texas, right? It was great with the Longhorns, coming back to Dallas. Adrian Peterson, who's long talked about the fact that he wanted to be a Cowboy.
Right.
I can just envision one of them eating the turkey leg from Fox and being players of the game. But I still think Washington's offense has struggled, even with Alex Smith, and their defense is banged up. So I think the Cowboys should win at home by 8 points or more. I just don't really feel that great about it. The Saints are a new addition to the Thursday games, but given the way they play and the way their crowds are, I'd like them to stay. I don't know if you want to stay at 13 points as favorites against Atlanta coming in off of a tough loss. Who do you like in this matchup?
I do like the Saints by 13. I don't know how you pick against them. I can't justify it, so I'm going to go with the Saints. In the last 3 games, they're outscoring opponents 144-56, and 35 of those points came against the Rams. So the last 2 games against the Eagles in particular, who just put up 7, have been routes, and I expect the same to happen against a Falcons team that really hasn't shown up the last couple weeks.
Yeah, the Falcons can put up points, and so they could hang with them theoretically, but you're right. The Saints' offense is so talented. 40 points in 6 games this year. In their last 4, they've put up 40 or more. And against a Falcons defense that has been suspect at best, on that home field, I could see them putting up even more than 40, and I'm not sure that I see Matt Ryan putting up that many points. So yeah, I like the Saints as well. All right, I mentioned it before. great part of these games, you just don't get a player of the game that's talked about over B-roll of their plays with some stats. You get an interview while they're actually eating Thanksgiving food. So in these 3 games, who sticks out to you as someone who's going to be chomping down after they've eaten after a big game?
I think Khalil Mack's mouth is going to be watering in this game against the Lions. The offensive line of Detroit can't protect Matthew Stafford at all, and he's having an unreal year. I think he's going to ravage that line and then be eating some turkey afterwards.
Yeah, I would love for it to be Zeke Elliott, obviously, as a Cowboys fan, and you know I want to see him jump in the Salvation Army pot again, and for some reason get a flag and get fined by the league. Although they have relaxed celebration rules since then, so maybe it's a good time to do it, Zeke. But I'm not certain how close that game is going to be, and so I actually think it might be someone like Drew Brees. I'm all about narrative, and I think his narrative is he's kind of marching his way to the MVP, and I think on a big stage in prime time, Brees has a big day, and knowing Drew Brees, he's probably going to take the turkey leg and donate it to like someone in need of food. I think Brees goes off against the Falcons secondary.
It's a good bet.